Hi everyone, welcome to my little slice of paradise. Welcome to my backyard. In this video, I'm going to show you some what I consider a success in my garden and some of my failures, and mostly my biggest failure in my gardening experience. So first, let's start with the successes in my backyard, and you can see the pictures of my plants in the backyard. These are things that I consider a big success. The lemony lace is gorgeous. Nobody can deny that. It looks amazing. The Rose of Sharon, white and pink, flowers so profusely, and I love it. I consider it a big triumph. All my flowering plants are gorgeous. I am really proud of them and I love them. As you can see, it's all echinacea and black-eyed Susan, rudbeckia. The hydrangea is amazing. I have no other words to describe it. All flowering plants are doing very well. Of course, it's a little bit of a jumble of flowers in colors, but this is what summer is about. It's about colors and it's about vibrancy and life, and pollinators really love all these flowers. They're crazy about them. There's so many butterflies and bees and all kinds of bugs, which is great for me. Look at this beauty. I just cannot not smile when I look at this. Beautiful. As you can also see, some of the daisies are gone. Most of them are gone, but this is the cycle of life. They start in spring and then they blossom and then they just go. But at this time they are producing seeds which will be planted next year and will be gorgeous next year. Another success in my garden is planting the variegated dogwood next to the maple, to the Japanese maple. The combination of these two colors, it's just stunning. I consider this a big accomplishment. Another accomplishment is converting this bird bath into a small succulent garden. I love it and it's gorgeous and it gives some difference to the garden. Another very good win is to plant all these shade-loving plants under the apple tree. They look very healthy and beautiful, but I need a pop of color, so I put this echinacea there as well. And look at it. It's just gorgeous. Another very good achievement is that I created this island in the middle of the lawn. For many people, that was a waste of time. They said, oh, you should just put a big lawn in the middle. But I love this island in the middle. It creates some mystery. It creates, you're just wondering what's on the other side of the island. And really, when you walk around it, you discover all these different plants of hostas and echinacea in this gorgeous hydrangea. I put this trellis here for the clematis to climb on it, but this clematis doesn't want to climb. But anyways, it gives some interest to the garden, and the pop of color of the Rose of Sharon is perfect. I have some edible plants as well. As you can see, my tomatoes, they're not perfect, but they're okay and started ripening, and I'll have a few good salads of tomatoes. The apple tree is amazing. It has so many apples this year and they're ripening very well and they're getting big, but I'm afraid the weight of these apples, there's so many, might break the branches. And While we are looking at the bees loving the flowers, let's talk about failures. The first failure that I'm going to talk more about in maybe another video is my grass. The grass in my backyard is terrible, as you can see, and especially after this year a few parties that I had in my backyard, the grass is terrible. But let's go to the front yard where the real disaster happens. And here is my backyard on one side of the driveway. And here it is on the other side of the driveway. As you can see, there is a little bit of difference. And I will tell you why I consider one side kind of a success and the other one a failure. But let's dive into it. On both sides of the driveway, there is a pine tree. And I tried for 2 years maybe to grow grass under these pine trees, and nothing can grow. Grass can grow. I decided, okay, maybe plants will grow under these pine trees. But there is something that was different at that time. And what was different at that time was this big tree that was on the city line. It was casting shade over my front yard here. And that's why I planted lots of hosta and lots of shade-loving plants. But now, as you can see, the hosta is scorched. The sun is so hot, and probably there is not enough water also for the hosta, so the hosta is destroyed. And it's not only the hosta. Well, what I'm pointing out, this is some dried daffodils that I should clean up, but it just doesn't look good, so I don't feel like I want to go outside that much and spend that much time as I do in the backyard. There is also a lot of milkweed here, and this one in particular I keep because it's casting shade over another hosta that is behind and keeping it alive. But as you can see, the rudbeckia is almost dead. The black-eyed Susan is a little bit better, but the geranium that is also there is barely surviving. And here is the black-eyed Susan that is kind of doing well, but the rudbeckia that in my backyard thrives, here it is really dry and suffering, really struggling to keep up with the drought and the sun. The only thing that is doing good here in this situation is the lamb's ear. They're looking very good. Echinacea is also kind of okay, but struggling. It's not doing very well. There is this oak leaf hydrangea. It's very good, but I don't know how to take care of it. I don't know how to prune it, and it's just a shrub and everything is laying on the ground, so I need to learn more about oak leaf hydrangea. This hosta is also not doing very well. The ajuga here in the spring, it was so beautiful, but as you can see now, it's also dry and looking terrible. Further on the path, echinacea again is not so bad, and dogwood, also a small shrub, is also doing very well. In this part I planted also some daisies, and you can see they're ready to be cut as well, but echinacea is performing very well everywhere in my garden. The wild geranium, however, here in the front yard is not doing very well. Hydrangeas are okay, not as good as they're in the backyard, but at least okay. Here is the hosta that is looking a little bit better, and that's because of the milkweed that I have grown around it. So it's shading it. And this is how the milkweed looks under the tree. This is all sap, and it actually burns the leaves of the milkweed, and I guess all other plants that are underneath the pine tree. And here is a second look at the hostas under the tree. It breaks my heart to see them like this. These are beautiful. Before they were beautiful, and now they are destroyed. And here is the hosta in the middle of the milkweed forest. It is looking much better. And the reasons for this disaster in the front yard, I think, is the fact that the big maple tree that was there was cut. So it was providing shade, and now the sun is scorching all my plants. And the second reason is because these plants are underneath the pine tree, and it sucks all the moisture and all water, and nothing is left for the plants. So they are really struggling. I've been thinking about installing an irrigation system, but this is something that I really need to research and install. This here was a big patch of creeping thyme between the stones. You can see now it is completely dead. There's a little bit left there. These daylilies are okay, and they are beautiful, but they will definitely benefit from more water. This spirea is also kind of doing well, okay, but I think it's not growing as much as it should be. And again, some success and some failure. Lamb's ears are doing well. The rudbeckia, not so much. The creeping thyme, though, it loves the sun. And this sedum, they really love the sun, and they're doing very well. If I could only weed them a little more and more often, but they're performing very well in the sun, and maybe I should consider planting creeping thyme and all these ground cover everywhere. On the other side of the driveway, I have as well creeping thyme and lots of succulents and lots of these ground cover plants. I don't know their names, but they're doing very well. And I definitely think I should plant them everywhere under the pine trees because they really perform well. And they look good all summer long. They don't require lots of watering. I am happy with the way they look. Gardening, like life, is full of surprises and almost never happens the way we expect it to happen. But every mistake taught me something, and every success brought me joy. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and here's to growing, learning, and getting our hands a little dirty along the way. Thank you for watching.